So I know we have a bunch of people to go talk to and stuff like that. I did quickly hop over to see if Ulbrich had any stuff for me, and he didn't, which leads me to believe that nobody has anything really right now that's new. So I am going to take the family over here. And we are going to go upstairs and get some of this stuff done, all of this. A middle-aged paladin with a genial face salutes you. His sparse gray hair stands in fuzzy tufts on his head, giving him a distinctly unwarlike appearance. Ever-bright crusaders reporting for duty. My name is Sarkorian, and I'm at your service. Queen Galfrey is gathering the main attack force in Nerosian. She ordered us to replenish the losses suffered in Canabras and come here. We'll support your troops. A tall, dark-eyed lad is now standing behind him. He passionately echoes his words. We're ready to go to the front immediately. Allow us to be the spear of the attack. The old crusader calls the young man to order. Morvag, don't speak unless spoken to. Don't worry, no one will be defeating any demons without you. He smiles kindly and tussles the boy's hair. Who have you brought with you? Everbright crusaders mainly, but we have a lot of volunteers who joined us. Those who arrived at the Queen's Call but didn't want to sit in Nerosian waiting for the main army to set off. All the hotheads know the front is here. Sire nods at the boy behind him, the one who's eager to fight. We picked up this one too. He walked to Canabras with an old sword in his hand and a few copper coins in his pocket. He was going to keep walking to kill demons, and then he'd probably have laid siege to thresholds, no doubt. The boy's cheeks go pink with the old man's gentle mockery, but he continues to stare ahead resolutely and boldly. Did you fight in Canabras? How are things there? Not personally, no. The Queen summoned me in the bulk of our order to Nerosian. Almost all those who remained behind in Canabras died. The ones who didn't were disorganized and leaderless. The order didn't perish. New volunteers have been pouring into our ranks. We're licking our wounds. Canabras is rebuilding. Life wins out. People are coming from all over Avestan to help. Many are joining up with the Crusaders, just as it happened back in the First Crusade. Great! You'll be serving under my command then. The Crusader gives you a friendly smile. It's an honor for us, Commander. Let's give the demons a dusting. Excellent. Let's give them a dusting. So, and this is where being commander really and truly actually starts coming into play if you've never seen this. We have literally the whole board to command. So first we've got a lord with an escort of battle slaves wishes to join the crusade, but many crusaders loathe slavery. They're asking the commander to free the thralls and banish the outlander. So buy and free the slave. Morale increases by 25. However, we lose 2,000 finance points. Accept the new troops. Lawful. We're recruit. No, we're not doing that one. Free the slaves by force. We lose diplomacy points and we gain. So either way, it's 25 morale. Reform the slaver. Chaotic. Honestly, I kind of like this because A, it's the biggest increase, but you reform the slaver as opposed to just buying and freeing them. So he could go out and buy more if he wanted to, or you free them by force, which means he can still go out and get more slaves. You know what I mean? But if you reform him, maybe he'll never do it again. So let's go with that. On the commander's orders, they went on a long foray with his fighters. The hardships of this journey made him see his servants in a different light. To see them as mortals just like himself. After that, the commander simply had a talk with the aristocrat, and that was enough to fill him with hatred for slavery. He released his soldiers, returned to Chilax, and became a true friend. See? I think that was a good one. A special messenger from Galfrey was delivering a missive to Dresden and ran into a sentry patrol by accident. Alas, the soldiers took the messenger for an enemy and attempted to search him, which ran contrary to the messenger's instructions. The sentries were killed and the messengers arrived in Dresden, now waiting the commander's judgment. Okay, so we've got ads. So if the messenger did everything by the book, we lose morale, but we gain logistics points. If the messenger considered a crime, we increase the morale, but lose logistics. And then you can accuse the messenger's superiors, which adds 2,000 leadership experience points. We get 30 crusader morale, but deducts 1,500 logistic experience points, which honestly, this is a superior officer. Like, if you're just looking at this, he ran into a sentry patrol by accident. The soldiers took the messenger from an enemy, took them for an enemy and attempted to search him. So there should have been from his superiors like a what to do contingency plan. Like if you run into the commander's people and they mistake you for something or X, Y, and Z, tell them this, show them this. You know what I mean? So we're going to go with that. The Queen's servants think they have the right to kill crusaders. So Seal blamed the officers from the capital for this tragedy, claimed that the messenger was given poor instructions. Exactly. And publicly demanded that the crown compensate the families of the deceased. This act to strengthen the commander's authority. I like that. Good. Now I got, oh my gosh, decrees, rank ups, development, relics, other. Okay. So the decrees have obviously the you know, the rank of the development. So let's go to rank up first. Form a logistics council. The success of military, okay. Issue a decree. Yes, we'll just issue these decrees. Ah, look at that. 3 out of 10 things done. We're busy. So now those only take a day, so you can skip a day. We have an assembly. Assembled. Love it. Okay, so now let's see. Upgrading an outpost to a bastion, the commander will expand its territory for buildings as well as allow the construction. Yeah, I think we're gonna do this first. Then we've got skilled craftsman can do the work on relics. I don't know which one I want. I like the name of this. Perfect. Love this. Decrease. Anything left? Alright, this is starting the Sword of Valor. We can't do this right now, so we'll leave, and I believe somebody's going to come and talk to us now. So there's a lot of times where like you'll skip a day or do something, and then that'll happen. Like, it'll be like, oh, so-and-so's here to speak to the commander, and it's kind of cool. But sometimes it can get overwhelming fast, given how many people genuinely, apparently, want to talk to you, given that you are the commander, and everybody needs a piece of you. Before you stands a tall, fit man whose dark hair is already tinged with gray. He greets you with a brisk military salute. My name is Captain Selkind. I command the vanguard of a mercenary group called the Blackstone Company. We have come from Andoran to assist you. Why do you want to join up? Queen Galfrey paid for our services, but please do not think we're fighting for gold alone. We are true sons and daughters of Andoran, so the ideals of equality and resisting enslavement ring true in our hearts. We'll be glad to stand in the way of demons who seek to force mortal kind into bondage. The bulk of our company made camp in Nerosian, but the vanguard, consisting of our finest soldiers, if I may add, was put under your command. Tell me about your unit. The Blackstone Company is proud to be recognized as one of the finest Andoran mercenary regiments. We're not a bunch of unscrupulous sellswords looking to oppress the innocent and serve the tyrants of the world. No, we're adventurers eager to get involved in a dangerous enterprise and leave it with pockets full of gold and a clear conscience. Which is why we held a vote among our unit. We were glad to accept Queen Galfrey's invitation to join the crusade, though some of our commanders did voice their displeasure with the sum she offered. But like I said, we Andorans are free people who cannot be pushed around and who cannot be bought, only convinced. Tell me about you. The man flashes a genuine smile. I do not even know what to say. I am a soldier, a bit of an explorer, and just an all-around honest man. So then, get on with your duties. Yes, ma'am. Glad to be under your command. He salutes you again, smiles, and adds in a softer voice. It will be an honor to serve with you, Commander. If you have any questions, let me know. If you need to talk, I'd be happy to lend an ear. Oh, he seems very nice. Oh, okay. Erebus said that we're under threat from demons with unusual abilities, like the Nabasu that attacked your army in the Lost Chapel. They're very powerful and they're growing in number. You haven't found out where they're coming from, have you? She looks around shyly and continues lowering her voice, as if entrusting you with a personal secret. I'm not sure, but I think I have a lead. I know where to find someone who can lead us to the source of their power. Who are you talking about? A hag by the name of Jernica. She used to live here before the fall of Sarkorian, but when the demons invaded this world, she happily took their side. The old cannibal knows many secrets. You just have to make her talk. Does she also have special powers? Her? I doubt it. Still, be careful. She's very old, very sly creature, and she's incredibly dangerous. So where can I find it? Her. The place is called the Greens Gate. I'll show you how to get there. Long ago, before the World Wound, there was a Sarkorian fortress there. Then Crusaders built a small chapel. But for many, many years, the place has been home to nothing but abominations and squalor. How'd you find out about this? Arushale quickly looks at the faces of those present and seems to curl in on herself quietly, almost whispering. She says, "That is a long story. I will tell you when we get there, all right? Thanks for the tip. Happy to help. It's just..." She looks around cautiously again and lowers her voice. "You won't go there without me, will you? I want to personally make sure this monster doesn't escape you." Okay. Yay! Oh man, it's my favorite people! Oh no! The next door theater, what do we got? Grandma Gretlin lowers herself into a bow. "Good day, your commandership. It is we, the artistic board of the Next Door Theater. We are still working on our piece about your heroism. We have even taken on a few new crew members. We now have a master of stage equipment and scenery. It's my granddaughter, Tina. Tina, say hello to the commandership." We are faced with another dilemma. We simply can't decide on a climactic moment for the act that's all about the Battle of Dresden. Here, you listen to the options. Grandma Gretlin holds a scroll up before her eyes and begins reading, running a gnarled finger along each line. Option 1. The commander, so that's you, launches herself out of a catapult. Please for a second think about Abs getting tossed out of a catapult. Oh no, hold on. And smashes down the fortress wall, allowing the armies to rush inside. Option 2, the commander, so that's you again, masquerades as a Balor and creeps into Dresden in disguise and then opens the gates. Option 3, the commander, so that's you again, rides to the attack on an enormous mountain goat, or should we call it a battering ram, and it breaks down the city gates. Well, what say you? I like the version where I ride on the back of an enormous mountain goat, but where are you going to get a goat that... No, we kind of... All right, listen, I'm torn. So, do we want to launch out of a catapult? No, I like the large mountain goat. Where are we going to get one, though? We're still working on that part, commandership, but it's hard to get a goat in the middle of the World Wound, especially an enormous one, but we'll think of something, don't you worry. Grandma Gretlin and her entourage move away, but their voices project well so you can easily hear the conversation. Do you think the commander will mind if we add the goat and the catapult to the show? That way, the bit where she breaks down the gates will make much more better drama. Did you forget that the role of the commander is being played by a Cyclops? How are you going to launch Lambkin out of a catapult? Where are we going to find a catapult that won't break under his weight? Calm yourself, Tina. It's just a minor snag. You can't achieve success without a few difficulties along the way. We'll think of something, you'll see. Oh no. Oh no. Y'all, if you ever watched the stream version of Pathfinder, like when I played through it, we have problems with Lady Konomi. I'm just gonna tell you now. I don't like her. I might like her a smidge bit more than Galfrey, but not by much, so that's saying something. A sharp-looking kitsune gives you a quick, business-like bow. Commander, the matter before us is urgent, so let's not stand in the way of ceremony. I am Lady Konomi, the official attaché of Neurosian. Here are my credentials. She presents a scroll adorned with Galfrey's seal. Her Majesty has instructed me to lead your headquarters' diplomatic council. Honestly, I was surprised when Lady Konomi asked me to join this council, but I will do my best to fill the shoes of a trained diplomat. Yeah, strange I got invited to the council too. I'm sure foreign ambassadors will be thrilled to see my face and my manners. Lady Konomi, you haven't mistaken me for some other Crusader land, have you? I, like many nobles, have been trained in diplomacy, and in fact, I hold the title of Royal Emissary. It is passed down through the Erinde line. I must say that prior to this day, I employed my diplomatic skills solely to undermine Mendev's international relations or reputation. It's time to break that habit. I imagine preventing international scandals will be just as interesting as causing them. Who knows? I might even enjoy it. What's the council's agenda for today? I hate to say it, Commander, but not everyone in Neurosian is pleased with your progress. Some believe that, to use their words, you are out of control and fancy yourself an independent leader. Y'all, we're out of control. We're independent. Imagine that. It wouldn't surprise me if you encountered supply disruptions in the near future. I would suggest quelling their anger. Show the capital you haven't forgotten about the chain of command. For example, you could hold a parade in honor of Her Majesty. Hold a parade? With what money? Like, this is where Abby and I both are gonna start having problems. If we need to demonstrate that we're keeping Nerosian in mind, why don't we invite the capital's high priest to Dresden for a religious festival? It'll be appropriate, and the church support will shield us from the accusations of schemers. Pander to naysayers? I think not. I propose we hold a parade in your honor, Abby. This is your victory, and if Cousin Gallifrey wants to show off in front of the soldiers, she's welcome to capture something of her own. Honestly, I do like the way he words that. Lan's eyes flash with anger. Are they out of their mind? We've got a whole Dresden full of soldiers who need medicine, food, weapons. Until everyone's been taken care of, we can't waste a single coin on pointless celebrations. I agree. And it's not like these celebrations would benefit the people that need it the most, which is it's not celebrating the soldiers. It's not celebrating the common folk. It's not celebrating the people that won this. It's literally either celebrating Abby, which, I mean, I never mind, or Gallifrey. And I don't like that. So what are the, I think we just heard the opinions, but let's try that again. Lady Konomi gives you a look of surprise. Whatever for? Aren't the wishes of the capital obvious enough? Although very well, let's hear their counsel. Lan? Do you think ignoring the capital's worries is a good idea? And what are they going to do about it? We're the ones protecting them from demons, not the other way around. Having loyalties from the capital is great, but there are more important things, like having the loyalty of our own soldiers. When the demons come, what will we do? Shake our fists and say, we've got powerful friends in Nerosian. He brings up a great point. Why, that's true. Who needs to stay friends with those who supply you with provisions, recruits, and weapons? There's certainly no reason to fear that base jealousy and envy at the sight of your glory might get the better of their common sense, because that has never happened before. So, Seal, how does inviting the High Priest help? Without a doubt, we should remain loyal to the Queen and respect the hierarchy. Do we have to? But that doesn't mean we have to kowtow to the Royal Council whenever they ask. I think we should neither do their bidding nor seek to quarrel with them. Rather, we should try to take a middle path. The High Priest of Nerosian is a powerful figure, yet he's not a schemer or a politician. By inviting him to the festival, we'll both show that we're not cutting ties with Nerosian and let him know that we have let them know we have influential friends and are not about to buckle under the Royal Council. And honestly, hearing it from this perspective, I do actually enjoy this option as well. So yeah, the High Priest of Nerosian, you're showing we're not going to bow to you, but at the same time, we haven't cut ties. It's an interesting political move. Darren, what's the point of taunting the capital? There's a fine line between taunting and setting boundaries, and between showing respect and putting on a collar. Mind you, I'm not suggesting anything treasonous or disrespectful. A parade in honor of the true heroine of Dresden and Canabris. What could be more natural than that? Besides, a healthy amount of disobedience guarantees that people won't pester you with lectures and nonsense as often. A dozen tutors responsible for my upbringing can attest to that. Provoking the capital would be unwise. We're trying to avoid unpleasant consequences, not expedite them. I'm sure that was merely an extravagant jest on the Count's part. Are you kidding me? That was not in any way, shape, or form a jest on Darren's part, please. So Socials will unlock the religious feast decree, and Lands will unlock helping those in need. So Crusade morale increases by 10 or by 20. Okay, so there's that. Or the Social one will... Energy points income increases by 20%. I mean, that's not bad. What would Abby do? Abby is definitely smart, and she's not as vindictive as I am. I personally prefer Lan's option more than anything, but at the same time, Abby has played it smart this whole time, so I feel like she's gonna, despite Abby feeling like she does about religion and stuff like that, I think she's going to invite the High Priests. A moment, Commander. I understand that you're used to being the highest authority in all matters, but political decisions are an exception. I am a professional in this field. You are not. By ignoring my recommendations, you're not only deliberately seeking conflict with the capital, but disregarding common sense as well. I urge you to reconsider. You think you have the right to talk back to me? She shrugs disarmingly. I do hope you'll forgive me this little revolt. I'm merely doing my job by trying to satisfy my superiors to the capital, who are, incidentally, your superiors as well. Once again, what are they gonna do? At this point, right? I feel like as the commander of the Crusades, you've gotten Dresden back. You are protecting people from the world wound. you are probably one of the only people in existence who could actually shut the world wound. And as we'll find out, we are the only, like, kind of, sort of, yeah, like that's how it plays out, right? So what is Gallifrey gonna do? March an army here? And expend soldiers to put us in our place when we could be fighting the world wound instead? That would make her look awful. So at this point, what are you gonna do, you know? You've invited my companions to the diplomatic council and now refuse to listen to their opinion? I'm simply suggesting that you give your companions time to find their feet in the council and grasp the principles of being a diplomat. Also, if they weren't on the council, your decision could be mistaken for a decree of a tyrant, and that is definitely not public image you need. Ah, now I understand the role that I've been given, Lady Konomi. I'm supposed to stand in a pretty doublet and keep my mouth shut. I can promise you the former, but not the latter, and that's why we love Darren. Don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to do. We're inviting the High Priest. Her voice hardens. I cannot challenge your decision. However, I have no choice but to inform the capital that you've disregarded my recommendations. Actions like these are precisely what gave Neurosian cause for concern, Commander. I hope you'll revise this defiant stance in the future. Oh no. I'll see to it that the High Priest receives a proper welcome. Let him know that the strength of our faith is just as absolute as our loyalty to Mendev. And with that, we can bring this meeting to the Diplomatic Council to a close. It is unfortunate that things were so tense, but I'm sure we'll soon have many more opportunities to resolve any misunderstandings between us. Don't count on it. Don't count on it. Who are you? Hail, Commander. Before you, an aged yet fit and sturdy Burundi stands at attention. His dark skin has an earthy tone to it, and crystals sparkle forth from where his hair and eyebrows should be, clearly identifying him as an Oread. Captain Harmington, at your chair of your staff council, by order of Her Majesty Queen Gallifrey, here to deliver a report. So, is Darren also on this council, or is he just chilling with us? I'm on this council too. Seela salutes briskly. We'll be racking our brains on how to improve troop morale. I reckon the key is to back up our words with actions. Lead your soldiers by example, and they'll be eager to follow. Drawing on my experience as a paralictor, my advice is to maintain calculated moderation in every regard, be it in incentive or penalty, and to be decisive. We have no need for doubts or turmoil. I'm doomed to be your advisor, but do you know what that means? That you are doomed to listen to my advice. To start things off, here's an incredibly novel and deep thought for you. Loyalty, passion, and morale, all of these things can easily be bought with money. He's not wrong. Like, he is not at all, especially in the situation that we're in now. Money is going to talk. Commander, permission to report. We've encountered a problem. Although we're still getting volunteers, we're now seeing a case of desertion. Many who joined the Dresden campaign believe that their duty has been fulfilled with a victory. They are not keen on staying in the garrison. Those from Canabras wish to return home and rebuild their ruined city. Lastly, there are those who are afraid of lingering in a place where demons might show up with a retaliatory expedition at any moment. My suggestion is to improve living conditions for the privates, raise their pay, give them extra rations, and reward those who have distinguished themselves on the battlefield with commendations and gifts. Soldiers don't want to leave armies that appreciate them. I feel for those folks, but we have to convince them to stay. I think we might get some help from the servants of the gods. They'll tell the soldiers that the danger is not yet past and inspire them to keep the fight against evil. Keep up the fight against evil. As long as the world wound is open, the whole world is in danger. We can't go home and we can't just go home and live like we used to, no matter how badly we want that to happen. Most of the Crusaders are volunteers. They have no right to subvert military discipline. That kind of attitude is tantamount to treason, regardless of who expresses it. We have to identify the instigators, arrest them, and administer harsh punishments to make an example of them. They're volunteers, though. The problem is quite simply solved with coin, but handing money out to privates is practically throwing it away. We need to pay the officers handsomely, then they'll figure out how to raise their subordinates' morale. Let's hear options. I want to hear more about Darren. This one. Our forces are in good spirits. It's just that the euphoria of victory has gone to a few heads. No one can sober them up quicker than officers, especially those of lower rank. We'll give our dear oafs, all those sergeants and corporals, a bonus on the sly, then promise to sweeten the deal once they've convinced the volunteers to stay. Perhaps they'll do so over a beer mug or maybe with a broken nose. Why bother solving problems yourself when you can push them off on someone you pay? Your bot loyalty will run out sooner than your gold. Once soldiers turn into profiteers instead of following orders, they start praising them. They'll wonder whether or not it's worth their while to obey their general. I hardly need to explain the effects that this will have on discipline. And Regil brings up a very good point. Captain, what would you advise? The volunteers believe that we have almost won. Great, let's not ruin this pretty illusion. Instead, we'll turn it to our advantage. Increase rations, pay for the privates, rewarding the most distinguished with commendations and gifts. Who would abandon the victors when they provide you with food and better coin? It's naive to expect troops won't understand that we would just be trying to appease them. An army cannot stand if it's held together by handouts and desperate promises. We shouldn't lie to our soldiers. If we build up flimsy illusions now, the demons will shatter them later. Those fighting alongside us must recognize the seriousness of the situation instead of celebrating victory when the war has just begun. I actually very much agree with both Sela and Regil. And you can tell Darren has like zero military experience, but I like that he's offering an alternative opinion and a different way to look at this. Sela, what do you suggest? The situation's not that dire. Morale is high. We just want a major victory. So some have let down their guard. We have to call for the priests and paladins to get it through to the volunteers that it's still early for celebration. If they leave for their homes today, Dresden will fall again tomorrow and the day after. The demons will show up on their doorstep. Servants of the gods are indeed masters of sweet-talking others into dying free of charge, although all through pretty words. But when the choice comes down to inspired preaching or homemade pies, 9 of every 10 will look for comfort in their home and at their table. Their incentive needs to be more substantial than wasted breath. Regil? There is no place in the army for the mindset of playing soldier today than going home tomorrow. These dangerous ideas must be suppressed with the utmost harshness. We'll identify the most vocal rabble-rousers and exact punishment on them as an example to others. They may be volunteers, but they joined the ranks of the Crusaders. We can't abet in their rejection of their responsibilities, or we'll be heading towards complete chaos and therefore defeat. That's a great plan. If you want your soldiers to run back home twice as fast, they came here of their own volition. We must convince them to not terrorize them into fighting. So Sela gets us glory to the heroes. 5 to 10 increase on morale. Regil hunting down mutiny. Wait, really? Honestly, I am leaning towards Regil's because, like, he's right. We can't buy our way into this. We can't sweet talk people into this. You're either in or you're out. You either understand that this is a grave war with consequences, and in which case I'd rather people just leave now. I don't think Abby wants to deal with people coming in and staying because we either paid them, we gave them commendations, we lied to them about how good things are or whatever, or the priest sweet talked them into it only to find out that this is an actual war. Like, there is no going back on this. You're either here or you're not, and it's only going to get worse from here. So I think I prefer Regil's on this, but Darren's is bribe. So that's just Crusader morale again. These all increase Crusader morale. Regil's. Yeah, I'm going to go with Regil's. Regil, find the instigators, make an example of them. Affirmative. I already have my eye on the most spirited ones. I'll apprehend them immediately. Thank you, Commander. Should any other difficulties arise that require your attention, I'll deliver a new report promptly. Whew.